What's up guys, it's Dags and welcome back to another video. Today we're talking some more Yu-Gi-Oh of course, and we've got Jamie here with us again. Not his first time on the channel before, but what he's done this time is with his Shaddoll Invoked Dogmatika deck. He went undefeated EXO, come first place in the UK Extravaganza Attack of the Giant card, winning the Giant Prosperity. So absolutely immense. Yeah, so Jamie, any shout outs before? Do you wanted to get into the deck profile?
So I'll do the shout outs first.
Yeah.
So massive shout outs to Morgan, who lent me the Shaddoll Invoke cards. I did a lot of testing with me. He's a member of our 3v3 team Rainbow Neos, best team on planet. Also big shout outs to Callum for testing with me, our third member. That shout outs to John Moss for lending me Dogmatika cards. Shout outs to Kiri for lending me Ice Dragons. Shout outs to you for doing the deck profile. And shout outs to Anna because she's made me sit up.
All good, man. All good. Is there any comments that you want to make about the event or anything like that? Because you did amazing. You did amazing.
Yeah. So the event wasn't like too huge players wise, but like the amount of good players in the event was like really scary. I know a lot of people like Quincy were in the event, Vlad was in it, Herman, Nets. But yeah, luckily I managed to dodge quite a few of them, but I did have to play against Vlad at one point.
Yeah, I was watching. That was a really good match. You played that. You played, to be honest, you played all of your matches amazing. So,
I looked out with matchups a bit, but I was prepared for all of the harder matchups anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's about it for like comments on the tournament as a whole. It ran really smoothly.
Yeah. Definitely. So, you're playing Shaddoll Invoked Dogmatika over the weekend, and you went EXO. I will leave you to explain the deck. You're the expert on it.
I'll start off with the Shaddoll monsters.
Yeah.
So I ran 2 Wendy, 2 Squamartas, and then 1 of Beast, Hedgehog, Dragon, and Aerial.
Yep.
So I'm gonna reference this a lot, but the 4-of ratio in this deck. So when you want to see 1 of a card, I personally think this is the best amount to play.
Yep.
Because when going second, you significantly increase the chances of seeing it, and going first, it increases a lot from 3. So I'll just go through these. Essentially, 2 Wendy. It comes up a lot in the grind game, and also you want to draw it.
Yep.
Squamarta can be any of the Shaddolls. So it can be a Wendy, but it can also be flexible as one of these 4.
Yep.
Wendy is also good for making Athlone as well. Then we have 1 Beast. This is just a nice draw. It's usually the setup of Wendy. Sometimes you just send it for the draw.
Yep.
I recycle it a few times with Athlone to just add discard and get a draw. 1 Hedgehog. This card was it was okay. I've been considering cutting it for a while, but it just comes up sometimes, and
it's just nice as the 1-of.
Yeah, it's also sometimes good for like the Mechaba discard where you need to add something.
Yeah.
I played 1 Dragon, obviously, and 1 Aerial.
Yep.
So this card was really insane. I wouldn't play a second, but there were a few times where it would have come up.
Yep.
But I didn't lose any games because I didn't play the second. This is like the best Shaddoll card, but it's a slightly more bricky than the rest of them.
Yeah, so you're playing 8 Shaddolls.
Yeah. So 8 give you like very low chance to brick on them, but also giving you the grind game that the Shaddolls allow you.
Yep.
Moving on, I played Monkey Flip 3 normal summon Alistars.
Yep.
There's no reason to not max out on the invoked cards.
Yeah, everyone knows what Alistar at this point. Everyone knows it.
I'm just gonna go over this. Like, yeah, this card's just insane.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah.
Then I played 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur.
Yep.
So I minimized essentially on the Dogmatic Trenchant. One of my friends came up with a good analogy yesterday. So Nadir is engage, Fleur and Punishment are your anchor and your shot cannon that you have to play to go along with it in Striker or this format.
Yeah.
You are just playing them to trigger Nadir, and you wouldn't play them without.
Yep.
Ecclesia is slightly better than Fleur and Punishment, but I still wouldn't want to draw it.
Yep. Ah, nice. Very small engine basically for the dog monsters.
Yeah, you only get 6 flex slots in this. I also topped the LCS with this deck, and my 6 flex slots were very different, and I decided to completely change them. I didn't play any hand traps for negating things. I mained Ash in the LCS.
Yep.
I decided to just play for hand traps 3 copies of Phantasme.
Yep.
This card versus Dragon Link is insane because when they've committed to seal LP and Striker, you then just summon Phantasme and resolve Saryuja's effect.
Yeah, I really like Phantasme
versus like almost every other deck, and it won me my match against my game 3 against Lad, where he made Trident and Oath, and I summoned Phantasme to be able to negate one of them, and then had Nakaba to negate the second.
Yep.
It's just a really good card.
Really good this format.
So many really like powerful cards like Shaddoll Fusions, Nadirs, Super Polys. The draws are like almost always seeing insane cards, and it also helps you unbrick with cards like the Dogmatikas and Shaddoll.
Yep. Nice. Yep.
Moving on to the spell cards, I play 3 of the best card in the deck, Shaddoll Fusion.
Yep.
And 1 L.
Yep.
So once again, the 4-odd ratio. You want to see 1 Shaddoll Fusions a lot of the time, which you have the 4 of. When going second, you really want to see 1, and it increases a lot more when playing 4 than it does if you're playing 3.
Yep.
Shaddoll Fusion when going second against most decks.
So good.
So
good.
It just wins a match on its own sometimes.
Yeah.
And L is really good because it dodges imperm, it dodges things like that. You can set it so that when they out your window, you get to make a second one.
Yep.
It's just a really good card. So well.
Definitely. Shaddoll Fusion, very strong.
3 Meltdowns, 1 Terror, and 2 Invocation. These are the spells for the Alistar package.
Yep.
I got drolled on these more times than I can count this weekend.
Yep.
I didn't expect that many people to be on droll. Apparently they were. This card, however, the second effect to protect the fusions and the fusion monsters effects on the summon of the fusion their effects.
Yep.
Came up like a lot.
Yeah.
Like if you draw this going second, going second, and they like negate it or like stop the Alistar.
Yep.
Then you resolve Shaddoll Fusion, and they still can't respond.
Yeah, it's just so good in the deck. Like just not being able to respond is a very good line of text to have on a card.
Yeah, and then the 2 Invocation 3 can get a bit bricky.
Yep.
I didn't play Desires because I played the Dogmatika cards, so I didn't have to play 3.
Yep.
I would never play 1 of this card just because drawing it isn't bad at all. It's polymerization for the hand.
Yep.
And yeah, it was just all right. There were a few times where I drew it with Alistar, and like when they actually, you always have the invocation anyway.
Is that yeah, exactly. They always have invocation, always. Yep.
I put 3 Nadirs. This is basically just engage.
Yep.
Being able to add and then get the bonus effect of sending up clone is just way too good.
Yep.
Actually, just way too dank.
Or to break boards with Intis and stuff like that.
Yeah, like send Intis, add Ecclesia, summon Ecclesia, add Fleur, negate with Fleur. Usually just outs like every board.
Yeah.
Essentially. Moving on, 3 Pot of Prosperity. This is like the only card in the deck that I actually own. And I nearly had 4. One of them was a huge, but I decided to have that.
Who got the giant prosp?
I wonder. Well, this is like the most expensive deck profile ever.
Yes, free prosp is great. Would you go for 3 or 6, or do you always go?
I almost always go for 3, but if I have to like see something like Nadir or like Super Poly to break their board, you can do 6. It's just very awkward.
Yeah.
And you usually lose a lot of the grind game if you do it.
That's fair.
Then 3 Super Polymerization. This card kind of underperformed. I don't play any dedicated Super Poly targets except for Starving Venom.
Yep.
But it was still alright. I didn't play against Dragon Link, which is what the Starving Venom was for. But it was really nice to just fuse off Shaddoll with their card.
Yeah,
and
Super Poly is just
fuse
so
off
good.
Alistar with their card as well.
Yeah.
Yep. last spot card was 3 cosmics. You can play Ash or you can play IDP as the last 3 in the main, but I decided on cosmic because and the Phantasma's.
Yep.
As my 6 flex spots. This is really good in the mirror. Going first, if you set this versus Dragon Link, it can like negate World Legacy Guard Dragon, negate reveal, or like not negate.
Boot sector, stop it on. Yeah, stop boot sector. Yeah, so much. Yeah, nice.
But yeah, then onto the 2 trap cards I played. I played 1 Schism and 1 Punishment.
Yep.
Drawing this card won me a lot of games.
Yep.
I wouldn't play 2 though because it's not always great to draw.
Yep.
And Punishment, the card's really garbage, to be honest. there were a lot of times where I activated this card and I'm like, oh, I lose because I activated this card.
Because you can't fusion the next turn. Yeah,
you just have to be like really cautious when you use this.
Yeah.
It won me like my first game. It lost me my first game in the finals when I just used this without thinking.
Yeah. That's fair.
Right. Anyway, I'll move on to the extra now.
So that was how many in the main, sorry?
40 in the main.
40, yeah.
So yeah, the Dogmatika cards, the Flex cards, the Pot, and then Shaddolls and Invoked.
Perfect, yeah, brilliant.
It's a very tight list and there's very few changes you can make.
Yeah.
I think it's basically solved at this point. We've done a lot of testing to try and make it solved.
So onto the extra deck. Okay.
Yes. So I played 3 Winder. This was my 15th extra deck card. A few people might say that a second Macabre is correct. They are wrong. This 3rd one makes your Prankers matchup go from almost unwinnable to being like pretty reasonably okay.
Yeah.
It's still an unfavored matchup, but playing 3 significantly
definitely solves the problem.
Versus Dragon, this card's absolutely insane at 3 because if you can't kill them, which a lot of the time you can't unless you drew the Alistar or the Dogmatika cards.
Yep.
You are only playing with Schism. You can use this to send a card and be a Floodgate. Then they out it, and then on the next turn you make another send and a Floodgate.
Yep.
And the 3rd just comes up a lot in that match as well.
No, nice.
The 15th extra deck card was always going to be one of the 3 that we banished off Prosper.
Yep.
So a lot of the time you only have 2 anyway.
Yeah, makes sense.
Other Shaddoll fusions, I played 2 Construct and 2 Upload.
Yep.
You have to play at least 2 of each of these. That is completely like solid. There is no reason you would ever not do that. You can play 3 either of these instead of the Winder. I just think they come up like a significant amount less.
I think Winder's better for the format, right? That's probably.
I was playing 3 Upload for a bit just because of the grand game it gives you with adding back Shadolls from the grave and discarding them.
Yep.
But I decided against it eventually. Yeah.
That's fair. Like I said, I think Winder's better for the format. I think you made the right call with that.
Yeah, so for the Invoked fusions, I played 1 Macabre, 1 Algoids, and 1 Raging.
Yep.
The second Macabre didn't come up at all. I know Kiri was telling me that I had to play 2. It was so good. It just isn't that good.
Yep.
But I can understand why people would want to play 2. But almost every time you would summon it, you would either summon the Algoids or the Raging.
Yep.
Raging came up so much this card. I summoned it almost as much as Macabre.
Yeah.
You get to go for like the final blows with this when you only do the Alistar package. Because if you break their board, then summon Macabre, beat with Macabre, then on the next turn summon Alistar, you make the Raging.
Yep.
Then you get the Alistar back, and then you beat with these 2 for game.
Book of Moon is very good.
Versus Prankers, the book's really good. Versus Plunder, apparently the book's really good.
Yeah.
Never thought I'd have to do clearing against Plunder, but...
Yeah, but it came up, but yeah.
Moving on, the only other 2 fusions I played with these 2.
Yep.
This card didn't come up that much, but I'm glad I played it.
Yep.
It won me one of my games versus Drytron because they ended on Ruler Pass and I just naded, went for the Entus, and then got a punishment at the first thing. Oh, I punishment at a Drytron they had, sent App Clone, and then aerialed the whole graveyard and made a match.
Yeah. Nice.
And then I played Starving Den from Dragon Link and didn't play against any Dragon
Link. Yeah, but you had it there prepared.
Well, in theory, this is correct though.
Yeah. You were prepared for it. You're prepared.
The next ones are Artemis, the Moon Maiden. This is really good with all 3 of the engines you play. Invoked, obviously, this is just there to make them Macabre. With Shaddolls, a lot of the time, you you are stuck with 2 like Dags Shaddolls in your hand and a Shaddoll Shaddoll fusion.
Yep.
But you can normal things like a Hedgehog, make Artemis, and then have a light to make Construct so that you get access to the Wendy or the like Schism.
Yeah.
If you didn't draw them,
it gets you your light.
also in Dogmatika, a few times in testing it came up where I wouldn't have a Dogmatika to add back from grave or deck.
Yep.
So I linked my Ecclesia into the Artemis and then resolved the bear.
Yep. Nice. Yeah.
Then I played a Gravity Controller. This just makes all the Shaddoll extra deck monsters
Yep.
significantly better. Its on-field effect's quite good as well, and because it's a dark, you can banish it off of Schism to summon the window.
Yeah.
That's when you don't get to resolve Squamata, but usually you do. Then this card won me a lot of matches.
I can imagine, yeah.
2 really good targets in this deck, with being Super Poly and Shaddoll Fusion.
Yep.
Sending Shaddoll Fusion is just so good. If your opponent has an extra deck monster, you literally just get to pay 2,000 and fuse with your deck. Obviously, you can't send Wendy because you can't special summon for the rest of the turn. But yeah, in testing also a few times, the effect to make something dark came up when out in like...
Yeah, to make like a window or something like that. And
it also makes any 2 monsters on the field a Dragoon out, because you just summon this and send Super Poly.
Yeah, very fair. Yeah, that's understandable. No, nice. So that rounds out your extra, right?
Yeah, that's the whole extra.
Perfect.
I'll go onto the side. 3 Ash. This comes in versus almost everything. I don't put it in versus Dragon Link though, because it's really weak in that matchup.
Yep.
3 Nibiru. This won me my matchups against Tri Brigade. Even though I probably shouldn't side it in versus Tri Brigade, it's really greedy because a lot of the time they play around it.
Yeah.
But I just think it's really good. It won me my game 2 against Vlad after he'd won game 1, so I was really lucky to have it there.
Yeah, nice. Just a nice big blowout if they overextend
it's
or.
Just a smonk. Here, have a rock.
Yeah.
Then 1 Pancreatic. This was for dragons and like basically anything when you're going second.
Yep.
I don't regret playing it all.
It can be 2 outs.
I only drew it once throughout the tournament.
Yeah, but it's there.
It's like siding Imperial Order, I guess.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, I only drew it versus Zodiac round 1. But yeah. Then 3 Dark Ruler for dragons and Tri Brigade. It's just really good.
Yeah, it's a massive blowout. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 Twin Twisters. This was my spell and trap removal of choice in the side deck. So playing a quick play spell is so broken this format for the Mirror and for Pancreatic.
Yeah.
Because in the Mirror you just chain this to Schism, and usually because of that they're just losing. And also in the standby phase versus Pancreatic, you hit their back rows and they can't chain Pandemonium because it's only in the main phase.
Nice, yeah.
So this came up like quite a lot. It came in for like Pancreatic's matchup, but there weren't too many of them.
Yeah, to blow them out, get rid of the Pandemonium, and just carry on basically.
The last 2 cards in my side were Ice Dragon's Prisons. Once again, thanks to Kiri for lending me these. I have just bought them off him today, to be fair.
Nice.
But this card's just very, very strong.
So good. Such a good card.
It didn't come in that often today. I don't usually like siding a card for going first, but in rogue matchups, this card can sometimes just completely win.
Yep. No, nice.
Yeah, that rounds out the deck. I'll do matchups quickly.
Yep.
So my matchups were round 1 Zodiac.
Yep.
A round 2 Drytron.
Yep.
Round 3, I believe that was my that was against Nan McNutty playing pure Tri Brigade.
Yep.
Then round 4 I played against Pancreatic, which is a really hard matchup, but I'm glad I managed to win that one.
Yep.
Round 5 I played against Vlad playing Zodiac Tri Brigade.
Yep.
That was a really close match.
Yes. Oh my god, yeah.
And the finals I played against Plunder Patrol.
Yes, yeah. Of all things, yeah. That was quite crazy, but yeah.
Overall 6-0. There were a few tough ones, but I managed to pull it through.
Yeah, honestly, you did so well. And what I want to say as well is that literally before the event, we were joking around, going, "If you win the giant prosp, I'll buy it off of you." And he was like, "Yeah." And then obviously he won the giant prosp. So yeah, that was pretty insane. That we were just joking about it at first, and then it just came through. But your deck was absolutely amazing throughout the day. It really was. So
Just once more, I want to do a huge shout out to Team Rainbow Neos.
of course,
Little plug. I have a Twitch channel, Jamie_Hunter. I'll be playing in a few tournaments like the 3v3 LCS.
yes. So he did his first stream on Saturday, which was when he streamed the Attack of the Giant card, going 6-0. So if you haven't already, go over to his Twitch and drop him a follow, because he hit his 50 followers, but we just want to keep him going now. Next stage is 100, right?
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, from me, thank you very much for coming on, Jamie. Is there any last things that you do want to say?
Not really. This is just the best deck. You really need to be prepared for it. And yeah, Team Rainbow Neos is the best team.
Wicked, mate. Thank you very much for coming on. And if you haven't already, please leave a like on the video and drop a subscribe as well. And if you haven't as well, go over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/MidDailyDags. Thank you. Bye.